federal immigration agents are facing increased threats of violence after multiple incidents in Texas this week saw gunmen ambush officers right outside their building.
Madeleine Rivera joins us live with the details. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning. The Department of Homeland Security says the number of assaults against ICE agents has increased significantly, and there have been some high-profile incidents in just the last few days alone. Yesterday, a gunman was shot and killed after police say he started shooting at a Border Patrol annex in McAllen, Texas. The suspect was identified as 27-year-old Ryan Lewis Mosqueda. The attack in McAllen came days after another violent incident in Texas just outside of Dallas. Authorities say an officer from Alvarado was shot in the neck after several people opened fire on officers outside the Prairieland Detention Center, which is an ICE facility. The Justice Department is calling this an organized ambush, adding that some of the suspects were wearing body armor and had two-way radios. 10 people were charged. DHS tells Fox assaults against ICE agents are up nearly 700% over the same time last year. Last year, there were 10 assaults from January to June. This year, there have been 79 assaults within the same time frame.
I've been warning about this for 2 months. The ramped up rhetoric is going to cause a situation where someone loses their life. We saw that today. I was hoping I'd be wrong, but I wasn't. And I'll tell you something else. It's not the end. Unless we stop the hateful rhetoric against ICE and Border Patrol, comparing them to Nazis, there's going to be more situations like that.
The attacks in Texas remain under investigation, and officials say anyone involved in attacking law enforcement will be prosecuted to the fullest extent. Griff, Emily, and Charlie.
As they should. Maddie Rivera,
Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you very much.
You know, the thing to remember here is that these ICE agents, they are doing exactly what elected legislators are ordering them to do. They are enforcing the laws that have been duly enacted by the legislature. And Democrats spent a lot of time talking about law and order. And the idea that these people are paying the price for enforcing the laws that Democrats helped put on the books is unconscionable. And I think we're at a position right now where, Democrat lawmakers have allowed this problem to metastasize, and they don't know how to control what they've created. And so you have these scenes like the one we saw yesterday where you have Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, marching out into the streets trying to interfere with ICE operations. And at some point, an adult in the Democrat Party is going to have to stand up and say, we do not stand for this.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, the threat environment against federal law enforcement has possibly never been higher than right now. Now, why is that? It's because the rhetoric of the Democrats are not coming down. Do you have Hakeem Jeffries in Washington, the leader of the Democrats in the House of Representatives, likening ICE to Nazis? You've got Karen Bass in California. You've also got in San Diego a city councilman a month ago writing terrorist over ICE enforcement officers, saying, the community should fight back. You've got a member of Congress getting arrested at Newark. I mean, it's almost as if they're choosing that as a playbook to double down. I thought it was interesting. Axios had a piece talking to unnamed sources who are Democrats, saying that they want to pretty much just keep ramping it up and double down on that card. Here's a little bit of what they found out about this anti-Trump, anti-ICE resistance in Axios. Democrats telling people to get shot for this. Here's a quote. The grassroots wants more. Some of them have suggested what we really need to do is be willing to get shot when visiting ICE facilities or federal agencies, a third House Democrat told Axios. Unbelievable. Here was White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt yesterday responding to that.
It's hard to believe anyone with morals in this country or decency would say such a thing. Obviously, the White House condemns that rhetoric, and we condemn violence of any kind. This administration is simply trying to enforce our laws, and we must be a nation of law and order. You cannot simply waltz across our border and live here illegally and expect to stay. We are going to enforce our nation's laws, and the men and women who are doing that are doing so in a respectful way. They are doing so within the confines of the law, and they are just trying to do their jobs. And we condemn any violence or any calls for violence of any kind against any American.
You know, when the press secretary speaks, it is so clear and concise and in such stark contrast to those Democratic legislators who are responsible for much of the legislation that is being enforced, that with such mealy-mouthed and upticked rhetoric, advocate for violence. And they use this hyperbolic speech that has zero place in our society right now, likening ICE to fascism, likening the president to Hitler, and worse. And they also are, I mean, I'll say they aren't even subtle about it. I mean, they are calling actively to dox ICE agents. They are cheering that app that will obstruct justice and render vulnerable the ICE agents even more. How far will they go? I mean, you read it just then. They want to get shot because they are only about performative stunts for their elite petri dish that is so insular, and they have no idea what real Americans go through, which is their loved ones are out there. Their loved ones are ICE agents. ICE agents are part of the community. They are part of the fabric of American existence, and we support and respect and cherish them. And this all-out assault on them, it has to stop before it gets worse.
And, of course, the crimes that the ICE agents are trying to prevent by removing criminal aliens from our midst are happening in the neighborhoods where those people live.
Yes.
Yes. They're the ones that are paying the brunt of this.
You put a really important point, though, on something, Emily, and that is the human aspect. Can you imagine being the spouse of an ICE officer or Border Patrol agent, or the daughter or the son, knowing that this is what they're walking out in? The attack in Alvarado, Texas, 10 individuals have now been charged with attempted murder of a federal officer because 20 to 30 rounds from an AK-47 or assault rifle of some sort was fired at officers unprovoked. They had bulletproof vests, they had body armor, and you know, we're at a point now where there should be bipartisan calls to tone it down, yet there isn't.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.